Hello, you hopeless romantic. Welcome to another week of Mini Bites. We are on week 2 of our new series called Biblical Romance. And for this week, we are looking at women. So for segment 1, we're looking at what does a woman of God look like? And for segment 2 on Sunday, we are going to look at wives. So what does a woman of God look like? I could show you a picture of my wife, Miranda, because she certainly is what a woman of God looks like. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at Proverbs chapter 31, verses 10 through 31, and go verse by verse and look at what King Lemuel writes about what is a virtuous woman. And that is a really good description for us of a biblical woman of God. So we start with verse 10, and he's going to talk about her as a wife. As we talked about in week 1, part 1, for what is a man of God, for this week, for this section, for a woman of God, this is for if you are looking to be a wife, or you're not looking to be a wife and you're just looking to be a woman of God, or you're a man and you're looking to get married someday and you're looking for who is this woman of God that I'm supposed to settle down with, and you're wanting to find out what is she supposed to look like. This is for you either way. Or you're already a wife and you're wanting God to show you, who am I supposed to be? How can I get better? Whatever, however you fit in, this is a good description of what a woman of God is. So another preface that I'd like to make before we dig in is this is a goal to strive for. These aren't exactly rules to live by. So if you don't meet every single criteria or standard, this may not fit into your lifestyle. This may not fit into where you're at. You may have a different occupation, things like that. So basically, these are good guidelines, and so strive for these kind of things. If you fall short in areas, go to the Lord about it. If these things don't fit into specifics, then don't worry about those kind of things. So a wife of noble character. Noble character. Noble means virtuous. Virtuous means moral strength. So somebody of character that is virtuous, that has moral character, somebody that is impeachable, or that non-impeachable, that is carries herself in such a way that she guards herself against falling to temptation. Who can find? And that's really the question, that as a young man or as an older man, and you're looking for that woman, or you're looking in the mirror and you're trying to find this woman in yourself. This is the question that you're asking. She is worth far more than rubies. Absolutely. It's more than gold, than rubies, than sapphires, than diamonds. It's more than anything that you can pay for. It's something that God is doing inside you. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. It means that he trusts her. That's the most important thing in any relationship, in any marriage, is trust. He has full confidence. He trusts her. He trusts her word. He trusts her actions. He trusts leaving her. He trusts being with her. He trusts every aspect of her. He trusts. That's the most important part of a woman of God, is that she's trustworthy. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. somebody that won't harm other people, somebody that brings good out of someone else. So it's somebody that brings good into a relationship, brings good out of someone else. This is what a woman of God is. We're going to get to this more in segment 2 on Sunday when we talk about a wife, but a wife is a helpmeet, and that is what she was designed by God to be. And so she brings the good out of a husband, out of a man of God, out of others as well. That is what a woman does, is she brings the good. Verse 13, she selects wool and flax and works with her eager hands. Now, again, this is antiquated in a lot of ways. Some of these verses will be, so maybe think of them in other ways. For your own situation, you don't probably, most people don't work with wool and flax, but please get the spirit of these verses more than the actual wool and flax and things like that may not make sense to your situation. But she works with eager hands, eager meaning excited or interested hands. She cares about what she does. She wants to do what she does. She's excited. She enjoys the work of her hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still dark. She provides food for her family and portions for her servant girls. The things that she does are important to her. It's more than just work. It's more than just, I've got to do it. It's more than drudgery. It's part of who she is. It's more than tasks. It's something that she enjoys because she brings the good into the relationship, into the home, and she brings good out of others. So she gets up while it's still dark. I see this in my own home with my wife, that it's just amazing to me what women are able to do, the way that God has created them, that they are tireless. Not that they don't get tired, but I mean, they just work so hard. And I realize that, and you're going to see this, that these scriptures are so much about work. And it's more than just that. It's about a woman's spirit. It's about her servant's heart, about her attitude. So she gets up while it's still dark is more than just working. It's about her attitude and her heart's desire. I saw this picture of this placard, and I wanted to share it. It is hard to be a woman. You must think like a man, act like a lady, look like a young girl, and work like a horse. Obviously, I'm not a woman, but I understand what it must be like to be you. And this is a woman of God. There's much expectations on you, whether it's realized, whether it's expectations you put on yourself, or it's truly expectations others put on you. I can just imagine how difficult it is. And I salute you. Verse 16. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. And so here in this verse, even in this antiquated proverb of a long distant time, of just, it's a different time of, she didn't work out of the house. She didn't go to the factory. She didn't go to a business office. She didn't, work for a multi-million dollar corporation kind of a thing, but still she worked in finance. She considered a field and bought it. She worked with her mind, and she was very astute. And so this is a woman of God, somebody who is able to make money decisions and is able to do things, and is very capable of anything that she does, anything that she puts her mind to. Verse 17, she sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. So again, everything's seemingly all about work, and it seems very sexist, and I'm sorry for scripture and if it's coming out this way, but I want to bring out these powerful things that are coming out of here. Her arms are strong for her tasks. They're strong for her tasks. It's her tasks, not the person next to you, not the person sitting next to you at church, not the person next to you at work, not your neighbor's tasks, not the mother that you kind of look up to and you wish you were like that mother. But your arms are strong for your tasks. Your mind is strong for your tasks. Your heart is strong for your tasks. God has given you the strength for what he has given you to do. And that is powerful. That's a woman of God, is you put your strength to what God has given you to do. And that is a woman of God. Verse 18, she sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. A woman of God is always prepared, is always ready for the next day's work, for the next day ahead. A woman of God is always ready to do what's next. A woman of God is always prepared. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. This has to do with working with wool and things. Again, something that's antiquated, but she's always doing what she needs to do for her home. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. So this has to do with her nurturing. So her nurturing is in her household, but her nurturing extends not just in the house, but a woman of God's nurturing extends to those in her church, to those in her extended family, to those of her friends, to those in her community. She is a nurturer. A woman of God nurtures others. And she opens her arms and extends her hands. That is a woman of God. She does this because God directs her to do this. This is a woman of God. When it snows, she has no fear for her household. Why does she have no fear? For all of them are clothed in scarlet. She had already prepared. She's already got it covered. She's already prepared with her household. She's already clothed them in the house. She's already thought ahead before it snowed. So this is a woman of God. She has already been directed by the Lord. She has already got the task at hand. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Purple and fine linen has to do with her majesty, for her. There's a majestic aspect of it, not just the things in the household that she's doing. Verse 23, her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. At first blush, it almost seems like this verse kind of shifts to the husband. No, her husband is respected at the city gate has to do with her. I mean, he's respected because he's a respectable guy, but it's saying part of why he's respected is because of her, that she's so respectable that even he is more respected because of her. So a woman of God is respected by all, even because of how she treats her husband. So a woman of God treats her husband with respect. A woman of God treats others with respect. Verse 24, she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. So here we kind of get this glimpse of she kind of works outside of the home. This looks almost like today. There's this phrase by Jane Selman, wanted to share. The phrase is working mother is redundant. Man, working mothers, again, I tip my hat, my proverbial hat to you. You guys work so hard in the house, outside the house. You guys constantly are working. Verse 25, she is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. Dignity means self-control. So she's clothed with this strength and this self-control about her. This self-control that she doesn't fly off the handle at others. This self-control that she doesn't give in to temptation. This self-control that she does respect others, that she does respect her husband, even when he doesn't deserve respect. This self-control about her is what gives her dignity, and that she can laugh at the days to come. Laugh at the days to come means that she has joy instead of fear. She doesn't fear what's to come because she has joy. Joy comes from the Holy Spirit, but also she has this joy, this peace, because everything's in order. She's got peace because of who she is in the Lord, and peace because she's faithful in who she is and the things that she does because she's a woman of God, and she doesn't have to fear about the things to come because they're in God's hands, and she's doing what she's supposed to do because she's a woman of God. Verse 26, she speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. The things that she says is just full of wisdom. Because of experience, because of the things that she's done, but because she walks with her God, because she is a woman of God, because of who she is, comes wisdom. And the things that she says, people want to hear because she brings good out of people, because she brings good to a situation, because she knows her God. There's wisdom. Verse 27, she watches over the affairs of her household. We've seen it in every verse we've looked at so far. She watches over the affairs of her household. Now, again, in what's set up in Scripture, again, a different time, things have changed a little bit culturally speaking. I'm not saying things have changed in order, but culturally speaking, things have changed a little bit. And so the man is to be the primary breadwinner, so to speak, and the woman is supposed to watch over the affairs of the household primarily in this perfect order kind of a thing. And so she is to make sure that the household runs in order and does not eat the bread of idleness. She's not just sitting around doing nothing. She works hard. And obviously things change some, and depending on the situation, somebody might be disabled, somebody may have lost their job, whatever the case might be. Nothing is perfect. And sometimes things have to switch and change. And maybe there's two people are working, and you both have to watch over the affairs of the household, and you both are working, or one's working, the other one, whatever the case might be. But overall, this is kind of the gist of it. Verse 28, her children arise and call her blessed. Blessed has the connotation of connecting with God. Blessed also means happy. So her children arise and call her blessed means they see that she's connected with God and that she's happy. She's blessed. Her children see a difference in her, not necessarily a difference, but see that she's with God. She's connected with God, and that their house is blessed, and that their mom is blessed. Her husband also sees that his wife is blessed, that his wife is connected with God, and he praises her. In verse 29, this is how he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Noble could also be interpreted as impressive or spectacular. Many women do impressive things. Many women do amazing things, but you surpass them all. The woman of God does impressive things. Verse 30, charm is deceptive. Charm, attractive. Charm is something that when you charm somebody, you attract them. So attraction is deceptive. Now, I'm not saying a woman of God isn't attractive or isn't charming, because they can be, but that can be deceptive. Beauty is fleeting. It's not about outward beauty or being attractive, but a woman who fears the Lord. What ultimately is a woman of God but someone who fears the Lord? Meaning not, oh my God, please don't hit me with lightning. It's a woman who fears the Lord is a reverential fear, somebody who reveres the Lord above all else, somebody who puts the Lord first and foremost, somebody who is a true disciple, somebody who is truly a Christ follower, is to be praised. This is a woman of God. And last, verse 31, give her the reward she has earned. What is the reward? A charmed life, if you will, a wholesome life, not a perfect life, not a bed of roses. She's still going to go through problems. She still may have to go through pestilence and disease and lose loved ones and go through this life that we all do. Nothing's going to be easy, but she's going to have peace. She's going to have the joy of the Lord, which will be her strength. She's earned this reward, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. People are going to know that God is in her life, and she's still going to have to deal with struggles in her marriage, just as we all do. But overall, she is a step above anyone who isn't a woman of God. Because she knows God, and she has that security in her relationship, in her marriage, or in her future marriage. And particularly if, as a woman of God, she also has a man of God as well, they already are able to enter into marriage or enter into a relationship ready to go into it with the Lord. This is a woman of God.